It is tracking north and east and will very quickly make its way into southern Tennessee. 12:13 right now, and we're talking about this storm making it into Murphy Crossroads at 12:17. 12:22 into Threet. 12:25 p.m. it will be in Cypress. 12:29 in Johnson Crossroads. 12:40 in Hines. Now, we are talking about this expiring at 12:45, so it's going to make it right up until Iron City. 12:43 it will be in Pruitt. So it is tracking just north and east. The thing about this storm is that it is incredibly rain wrapped. So if you're on the ground, you may not even be aware that there is a tornado, but there is a confirmed tornado on the ground. If you have friends in Murphy Crossroads, in Cypress Inn, in Johnson Crossroads, in Threet, call them. Tell them they need to get in their safe space right now. If the kids are at school, I'm sure they are in their safe space. Make sure that you are in yours. Absolutely. This storm is moving north and east. And quickly, I'm going to pull up the velocity so we can tell exactly where it is. This is it right here. You see where that couplet is, just north and east of Waterloo, tracking north and east here, making its way north of Muscle Shoals and Florence. This is the line that is going to continue to move north and east. Now, I want to go ahead and check in with this system very quickly and put another storm track on it. There we go. It's tracking pretty far and it's tracking pretty quickly. If you are in Murphy Crossroads, this storm will be to you in just a matter of minutes. It'll make its way into Cloverdale School in just about 4 minutes. Just about 10 minutes, making its way into Threet at 12:26. So we have gotten confirmation that this is a tornado on the ground. I'm going to zoom in even further, see if we can get you the street-by-street view. That is truly the benefit of 31 triple Doppler, and that's what we're going to make sure that you have right here. So zooming in even further here, let's see, just east of Waterloo, tracking this confirmed tornado on the ground at 12:15 on your Tuesday, north and east of Wright. It's crossing over County Road 8 right now. It's making its way into Murphy Crossroads any second, tracking north and east. It will cross over 20. It has already crossed over County Road 1. You are not experiencing the strongest portion of it, but if you live just north of Wright and you are crossing over County Road 8, making your way near Murphy Crossroads, County Road 10 into Threet as well, this system is heading to you. It is confirmed on the ground with a tornado in the region. You can see the couplet right there, right where we have this. Green is wind coming towards the radar. Red is wind going away. As they are mixing, that's where you're going to see the strongest of that storm. Waterloo, you are in the clear just north of Wright, making its way just north of Gravelly Springs and north of, Natchez Trace Parkway. You will soon see this as well. I'm going to put there's an updated look for us. I'm going to put another storm track on this system. Again, we will keep this tornado warning confirmed on the ground until 12:45. It is 12:15, 12:16 as we speak. Making its way to Cloverdale School by 12:26. You have time. You have just a few minutes. Use this right now. Get to your safe space. If you have friends who are on the road, if you have friends who are driving, friends who are out running errands, if they're not looking at their phone, if they can't hear the sirens, this has thunder, lightning, a whole lot of rain associated with it. It might be hard for them to hear those sirens. Call them. Tell them to get to their safe space right now. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground, making its way to Threet at 12:27, Cloverdale Junior High at 12:32, Johnson Crossroads at 12:35, continuing to monitor this storm as it tracks north and east. Again, here's the warning that we're talking about. Confirmed tornado on the ground in both Lauderdale and Colbert counties, lasting until 12:45. It is tracking north. It will make its way north towards Iron City here in just a few minutes. It is bringing a whole lot of lightning and thunder, strong rain as we head towards Iron City. Also confirmed with this, small hail. That's not your biggest threat, but it is something that we're certainly watching for. Let's see if we can find the debris ball, and it is. Right here, what we're looking at, of course, we're talking about rain that falls down. The debris from a tornado falls up. So where we see that debris ball as it's being lofted into the sky, that's where we know we're getting lifted debris. Trees, parts of houses, parts of cars, and it is just north of Wright. It is crossing over County Road 8, and this is what we showed you just a minute ago. I'm going to pull this up again, and I want to zoom in for you. Does look like we just saw a little bit of weakening in the system. That is good news. However, we do still have a confirmed tornado warning on the ground, and we do still have this warning in effect. If you are just joining us, I'm WAAY 31 meteorologist Grace Anello. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground stretching just north of Waterloo, tracking north and east. It is in a a tornado warning until 12:45, and you tuned into the right place. Let's get you a street-by-street view of what we're seeing. It looks like it re-intensified again, and I had a feeling it might do that. So we're tracking this system street by street view that you can just only get right here on 31 triple Doppler, just north of Wright, crossing over County Road 8 right here. This is where we're seeing it. Green is wind coming towards the radar. Red is green going away. Confirmed on the ground, this tornado tracking north and east over I-20, over County Road 8, making its way towards Murphy Crossroads. Now I'm going to put a storm track on this. And again, I will repeat, if you're on the roads, if you have family that's out and about, this system is rain wrapped. You're going to hear the rain potentially more than you even hear the wind. And that means if you have family and friends in this area, you absolutely must call them right away and make sure that they get into their safe space. This is confirmed and on the ground. It's 12:19, making its way to Threet just before 12:30. Cloverdale Junior High School, 12:34. Let me actually redo that. It looks like it moved a little bit from the last scan. These are the kind of storms that we're going to have to be watching for today. Similar to what we saw earlier when we saw a few thunderstorm warnings in Wayne County, Tennessee, we're seeing these storms pop up quickly. And here we have this confirmed tornado on the ground that requires you to be in your safe space right now. If you're north of Wright, County Road 8, County Road 10, I-20, making your way towards Murphy's Crossroads, making your way towards Cloverdale Junior High, towards Threet, all of you need to be in your safe space right this instant. So I'm going to go back to the warning for you, let you see exactly where it is. It is moving rather quickly, making its way into the eastern portion of Lauderdale County. Eventually, it will be tracking. Now, it does look like they've just weakened the warning a little bit. That does not mean the storm has weakened. We do still have a confirmed tornado warning. It means they're now tracking it to trend slightly farther north than it is trending east. We're still talking about this system just north of Wright, crossing over 20, bringing a whole lot of rain to Cypress, to Threet, and to 157. It is on its way to you. If you are in that area, if you are north of Sullivan Crossroads, if you are in Cypress Inn, if you are on I-13, if you're right over the Alabama-Tennessee state line on the Natchez Trace Parkway, you need to be in your safe space right now. If you're in Waterloo, if you're in Lane Springs, if you're in Southern Gravelly Springs, you are in the clear. There's that velocity couplet. We can see it almost perfectly tracking this line as well, continuing to see this move north and east. Going to put another storm track on this, again, making its way towards Threet by 12:30, making its way towards Cypress Inn by 12:33. Let's go ahead and get you another street-by-street view so you can see exactly where we are. It is taking the exact track, crossing over County Road 8, making its way into downtown Murphy Crossroads, over I-20, over County Road 8, County Road 10, and the Natchez Trace Parkway. You have to be in your safe space. An interior room with no windows, with no doors. The garage is not safe. Under a carport is not safe. Your car is not safe. I need you to be in an internal room as far away from windows and doors as you can get, as this tornado is confirmed to be on the ground. Just a moment ago, we were talking about here, this is called the correlation coefficient, but it shows you the debris. Rain falls down, tornadoes sweep things up, and where we see those signatures is that shows us where there is damage. So not only do we know that this is a tornado on the ground, we know it is lofting debris. So absolutely have to be in your safe space. This is on its way to Murphy Crossroads, crossing over the parkway, on its way to Cypress Inn. If you're in Johnson Crossroads, you might get a whole lot of rain from this. I think you'll miss out on the tornado couplet itself, but it would not hurt to get in your safe space, talking about significant winds with this confirmed tornado. Very quickly, I want to talk to you about the wind that we're seeing here. Does look like we are going to keep this. Even with the new tornado warning, we're keeping it in effect until 12:45. If you are just joining us, I'm WAAY 31 meteorologist Grace Anello. In Lauderdale County right now, there is a confirmed tornado on the ground. It is just north of Wright. It's making its way towards Cypress Inn, crossing over 20, crossing over the Natchez Trace Parkway, County Road 8, and County Road 10. We do have confirmed that this is on the ground, that it is lofting debris, and that it is a powerful storm. This system is rain wrapped. So if you have loved ones that are grocery shopping, that are picking up this kids early from school, that are wanting to go out during the day, they might not even know that this is a tornado because of how rain wrapped it is. You need to call them, and you need to be the one that tells them it is and tells them to get in their safe space. Just minutes away from impacting Cypress Inn, away from impacting Threet. The exact point of this is right where this green meets this red. Green is rain coming towards the radar. Red is wind going away from the radar, and we will continue to track this for you as it moves. I want to zoom in even further for you. Crossing over I-20 at this point, we started in the just north of Wright. Now it's moved north and east. Before long, it will make its way into southern Tennessee, but just about to cross over County Road 8. 10, Murphy Crossroads, I-20, County Road 40. You are not entirely in the clear from this as well. Seeing a lot of rain, probably seeing some hail with this system as well. If you are in this neck of the woods, you absolutely must call your friends and family, tell them to go to a safe space, and get there yourself. An interior room with no windows and with no doors. It is moving quickly. We have about 3 minutes in between our radar scans, and every time it scans, it continues to track north and east. And I don't tell you that to scare you, but this is a confirmed tornado on the ground, and I want you to take seriously that you don't need to be on the front porch. You need to be in your safe space. It is tracking north and east. We're going to look at that correlation coefficient again, seeing this debris on the very southern edge of it. So what's happening is the tornado is tracking north. It's right near I-20. However, we're seeing the debris just on the back end of it. That means that a significant portion of us still need to stay at attention, still need to stay in our safe room, even after the winds die down a little bit and it feels like the rain has died down. Stay where you are. This storm is lofting debris into the air, and on the back end of it, it's where it's dropping it. So I need you to stay right where you are until all is completely quiet and you can be sure this is out of the woods. Now, if you are in Wright, conditions are calm for you. If you're in central or southern Gravelly Springs, you are in the clear. If you're in Murphy Crossroads, if you're in Threet, there is a tornado that is making its way to you right now. If you're in Cypress Inn, this is on its way to you. Johnson Crossroads, you're likely to see a whole lot of the heavy rain and storm activity. Even if you don't see the direct point of the tornado, you will see some weather associated with it. Eventually, this will make its way north towards Geneva, but right now it's sitting in northern Lauderdale County, crossing over the Natchez Trace Parkway before long, sitting right here at this point between red and green, crossing over County Road 8, County Road 10, I-20, Murphy Crossroads, and 3, sandwiched right between the two of you, bringing significant winds, isolated hail with this system as well, about pea-sized, and still staying with us. We do have this warning in effect all the way through 12:45, so it's something that we are continuing to track. This line will continue to track east, making its way just north of Iron City and staying with Lauderdale County for a while. If you're in Florence, if you're in Killen, you are not a part of this warning. You are in the clear. This is tracking north, eventually making its way towards Collinwood and up towards Lawrenceburg as well. What we're seeing across the rest of the Tennessee Valley is really very calm, but again, we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground in Lauderdale County. If you are just joining us, I'm WAAY 31 meteorologist Grace Anello. There is a confirmed tornado on the ground. We're tracking it on 31 triple Doppler, 12:27 on your Tuesday. This is in effect until 12:45. We do have this confirmed tornado bringing hail in northern Lauderdale County. It's just north of Wright. right. It is making its way over the Natchez Trace Parkway, right in between 3 and Murphy Crossroads, where the green and the red are meeting. We call that a couplet. The green is wind coming towards the radar. The red is green going away. Where those spin, that's where your tornado is, and it is sweeping through Lauderdale County right now. Crossed over County Road 8 already. That's largely in the rearview mirror. Crossing over County Road I-20 right now, crossing over the eastern portion of County Road 8 in between Murphy Crossroads and Threet, over County Road 5, 10, 157, and the Natchez Trace Parkway, racing towards the Alabama and Tennessee state line. We know this is confirmed and on the ground. We know it has hail. We know it has incredibly strong winds. If you have family and friend in this area, because this is so rain wrapped, it might be difficult for them to really tell what's happening. You need to call them and tell them to get into their safe space. That is not your car. That is not the carport. That is not the garage. An interior room with no windows and with no doors. If you need something to put over your head, a helmet, even if you can grab a mattress and put that up against the windows, those are things that are really going to make a big difference, because this is not just a tornado warning. This is a confirmed on the ground tornado warning. So we have to be making safety precautions and plans as we speak. Very quickly, I want to put a trace on this for you, a quick storm track, if it will load for us. Let's see if we can run it again. It's crossing into Threet at the moment. You need to be in your safe space as we're speaking right now. Let's put another storm track on it. It is going to track north and east. It will end up just making it into Johnson Crossroads. There we go. Doesn't look like it will go quite as far as Lexington. I think it will be in the Tennessee state line before that. However, it is tracking towards Iron City. All right, now let's try that storm track for us. Eventually we'll cross over I-17 as well. So it's 12:29, Threet. You have 1 minute. You need to be in your safe space right now before this confirmed tornado on the ground is in Threet. Making its way to Cloverdale Junior High School at 12:35, making its way to Johnson Crossroads at 12:38, Zip City at 12:46. Now this particular warning is going to expire at 12:45. However, at that point, it will likely be in Tennessee, and it'll be up to them. They could very easily continue it for our southern Tennessee counties, in which point we will stay on the air for you. Making its way into Hines at 12:48, Pruden at 12:52. It is moving very, very quickly. We get a new 31 triple Doppler scan every 3 minutes, and every time we're seeing it, this storm has jumped north and east. So that should just clue you into the fact that this system is tracking very quickly. At this point, it's making its way just north of Threet, crossing over the Natchez Trace Parkway, making its way over 157 and crossing really close to Cypress Inn at this point, over County Road 8 and making its way towards County Road 10 as we speak. We've been looking at the debris signature, and it's coming behind this storm. Let me show you the comparison. So we're looking at where the green and the red are meeting, right? This is just west of the word Threet and County Road 8. However, when we pull up the debris signature, this is much farther to our south and west, over 20 and southwest of the Natchez Trace Parkway. This tornado is lofting debris, parts of trees, parts of cars, parts of houses, and it is dropping it behind this system. So you need to stay in your safe space. Even after the rain gets a little lighter and the wind gets a little quieter, there is still debris in the atmosphere, and you need to stay in your interior room and your safe space until all is completely quiet to truly ensure your safety. Continuing to track this as it tracks north for us. We've been on air for about 10 or 12 minutes at this point, and we're going to stay with you until this is out of our system. This is continuing to track over County Road 8, making impact with the Natchez Trace Parkway. Pretty significant road. If you know friends that live here, that live near there, call them, alert them to the situation. If they're at work, if they're at school, make sure they know what's going on and that they are getting in their safe space as we speak. I'm going to pull up the warning for you one more time so you can continue to track it. Most of North Alabama is incredibly calm, but then this is not just a tornado warning, it is confirmed. It is on the ground. When it turns pink, that's what that means, is it's no longer radar indicated. We know for sure it's there. If that wasn't enough to get you in your safe space when it was red, Pink needs to be the reason for you to be there. This is making its way very close to the Alabama-Tennessee state line, just north of Threet, the Natchez Parkway, Cypress Inn, Johnson Crossroads. All of you will be seeing the rain and storms from this. If you're in southern Sullivan Crossroads, Gravelly Springs, Wright, this is not a problem for you anymore. This is out of your system. If you're in Hines, you need to be aware. You are not currently in the tornado warning. However, this could be coming to you at any moment. If you're in southern Sharps Mill, this is not for you. If you're in Lovelace Crossroads, this is not for you. It is tracking north and east, making its way just north of Collinwood towards Geneva, towards Wayland Springs. I'm going to pull it up on a street-by-street view for you. Really make sure that triple Doppler is showing you what you need. Crossing over where this green and this red are, it is moving just north of Threet, I-57, the Natchez Trace Parkway, just minutes away from Cypress Inn. I want to put another storm track on this for you, and there it is again. Every scan we get, it is just moving faster and faster, tracking north and east. Let's zoom in and let's get you a quick look at the storm track timing. So here we go. And again, we are talking about keeping this particular confirmed tornado warning in effect until 12:45, not because it is likely that the storm will have calmed by then, but because at that point it will be in southern Tennessee and the Tennessee office will be the one that puts a warning on it. But we will stay with you until this is fully out of our system. 12:33 right now, this line is making its way north and east rather quickly, tracking over Threet, tracking into Cypress Inn in rapid time. It'll be there in, well, let's see if we can pull that up for you. Now, I don't tell you any of this to scare you, but this is the type of system that could be possible throughout the next several hours. We've been tracking this line all morning long. We've had our eyes on it for days at this point, and we're continuing to see that the atmosphere is primed for storms. We did have some severe thunderstorms earlier in the day today, and now we are seeing, of course, this confirmed tornado warning. Making its way over I-17 before too long, crossing over I-59 right now, I-57, right now, it is past 20. So if you live west of 20, this is not for you anymore. If you are just north of Johnson Crossroads, we're starting to leave Threet, but remember where this debris ball is, right where Threet is. So even if it's getting quiet for you over County Road 8 and where the Parkway meet, you still could be seeing some debris in the upper atmosphere. If I were you, I would still absolutely be staying in my safe space. This is crossing over I-57. It's making its way just north and west of Johnson Crossroads, just east of Cypress Inn, and it is tracking towards I-17. So let's see if we can put another storm track on this for you. We are going to see this stay in effect for about the next 10 minutes. It is bringing hail with it. Hail is not the biggest component of this storm, but it is a factor that is there. All right, let's see if we can pull this up here. If you are just joining us, I am WAAY 31 meteorologist Grace Anello, and we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground in Lauderdale County. It has about pea-sized hail associated with it. It is racing north of Threet towards the Alabama-Tennessee state line, towards Cypress Inn, just north of Hines, towards Johnson Crossroads, and this is in effect until 12:45. At that point, we could see another warning continue, but it would be the Tennessee office that issues it. So it doesn't mean that at 12:45 things with this particular storm will calm down. Here's what we're seeing as far as the velocity goes. This is showing us green, and it does look to be somewhat weakening. However, we've seen this storm weaken once before, and it did re-intensify. So that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily feeling better about it. This green air is green coming towards 31 triple Doppler. The red is air going away from it. Where they meet, that is where we have the strongest point of that tornado. It is confirmed and on the ground. It is also rain wrapped and bringing hail. So a lot of weather noise happening right now, but don't let it fool you. This is not just a strong storm. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Its debris signature has gotten slightly smaller, but it is still falling just north of Threet across the Natchez Trace Parkway, just north of County Road 8. Likely parts of trees, potentially some parts of cars and houses. Definitely worth staying in your safe space, even if things are calmer, even if they are quieter, even if the rain has somewhat let up. Continuing to monitor this as it becomes very, very close to the Tennessee state line, about to cross over I-17. It will stay just east of Cypress Inn. So if you're on the eastern side of the Natchez Trace Parkway near Cypress Inn, you need to be in your safe space right now as well. It will make its way towards Wayland Springs. It is tracking, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. It is tracking north and east. All right, let me pull this up for you. And there we go. All right, let's see if we can pull up those towns for our next road, what we're going to see here. Continuing to track this, if you are in Threet, a lot of you are in the clear if you're in southwestern Threet. If you're in Johnson Crossroads, if you are in Cypress, you absolutely still need to be in your safe space. This is in your neck of the woods as we speak. You need to be where you can get into a safe space immediately. So I am continuing to monitor this system. You have just minutes to get to where you need to be at this point, making its way eventually towards Iron City, just north of Hines. It will be crossing over 117 in just a matter of a few minutes. Now, what we've done here is we've replaced this with a red tornado warning. What that means is that it is still tornado warned on radar. It's looking like it is still a storm, but we no longer have the confirmation that it is on the ground. That doesn't mean it isn't. It just means that we can no longer see it, likely because of how rain-wrapped this line truly is. So if I were you, I would still absolutely stay in our safe space. It is possible that this tornado has lifted. It is also possible that if it has, it can come right back on the ground. And as far as radar goes, it is still looking probable that we do still have a spinning storm. You can see the couplet right here at this strongest point where the green and the red are meeting just north of Johnson Crossroads, east of Cypress Inn. I want to zoom in for you and get you that road by road view. It is sitting just north of County Road 8, just east of 157, just west of 117, and it will impact 17, eventually turning to 13 on the Tennessee state line, right here west of Lower Holly as it continues to ever so slightly track north and track east. If you are in Hines, you will likely not see the worst part of this storm, but you will see the lightning and the thunder and a whole lot of gusty wind, and it would not hurt to go ahead and get in your safe space. Let's see if we can get this to hyper focus here on the red, the newer portion of.
While you're looking at the, do you want to go over some power outages?
Yes, Demetria has some power outages.
So I have been checking. Can you all get my mic? Okay, there we go. So I've been looking to see what outages we have. We have about 17 streets that are currently affected right now in the Lauderdale County area. We have about 683 entities right now that are out of power. So I'm going to continue to monitor this. Grace, have you seen any reports of any hail or anything like that on the radar?
We are seeing pea-sized hail with this system as well. Seeing a little bit of lightning. A lot of it is just that torrential rain and that spinning wind, Demetria.
And how often does something like this just pop up? Because we went off air and then minutes later there was a warning.
Exactly. And that's just speaking to the excitement, the energy in the atmosphere today. It's that 31 alert day that we have been tracking for days at this point. Even storms that seem completely benign, because there is so much energy in the atmosphere, could easily turn into something more in a matter of seconds.
Well, I'm going to continue to monitor this. I'm going to look for any more damage reports, any more outages. Again, we have about 683 outages right now in the Lauderdale County area. We have about 17 streets that are currently affected, from Union Hollow, Waterloo School in that area, to Johnny Hollow Road College. We have Bankhead Street, that is over near WAAY Church Street as well. A lot of outages. As this information comes in, Grace, I'll just continue to break into the programming.
Okay, that would be great. And as we discussed just a minute ago, we talked about where this storm sits, and that just because that pink, that confirmed tornado on the ground warning is about to expire here in just 4 minutes, doesn't mean it won't be continued. It's moving into Tennessee. So it'll be a Tennessee office that needs to continue it, and they have. Now, our tracker here picks up on the nearest warning, so that's why I'm trying to move around to try to get you to see this red portion. We'll talk about it and then I'll zoom out so you can see the picture. But a tornado warning, not confirmed on the ground, but a tornado warning has been continued into Lawrence and Wayne County until 1:30 this afternoon. This is going to remain with us. It's making its way towards Wayland Springs, Iron City, Loretto, Rascaltown. Here's the larger picture, but it wants to pick up on the bigger warning. That's that pink. This is soon to expire. It is this red that you need to be looking at. I'm going to bring you into the velocities here, let you see this spinning couplet just north of Johnson Crossroads, just east of Cypress Inn, crossing over the Alabama-Tennessee state line, will make impact with 17 where it turns into 13 just north of Hines. I want to see if I can put a future track on this. The tool has been down for just a minute, but let's see if we can get it back up and running. There we go. Thank goodness. All right. This will make its way into Iron City at 12:54. It is 12:43. Take the minutes you have and get in your safe space. The difference between the pink and the red is whether it's confirmed on the ground visually with a picture or a photo. Now, this is not for you to do. That is not what we want you to do. You need to get in your safe space. But just because it is a red polygon instead of a pink one does not mean this threat is any weaker. It means there's too much rain for us to see what's happening, but it is still an active tornado warning, and we need you in your safe space right away. It'll make its way to Rockford School by 12:54, 12:56 to Wayland Springs, crossing over at that point the Alabama-Tennessee state line and tracking very, very quickly over 13 as well. The safest place for you to be is in an interior room, away from windows, away from doors. If you have to put mattresses up against the windows, if you have to huddle in the bathtub, if you have to get any place like that, that is a safe space for you to go as long as you are away from the windows and away from these doors. Now, much of Johnson Crossroads is in the clear to the south and west. To the north and east, you're still likely seeing the rain and a lot of the wind from this storm. It is tracking over what becomes 13, where 17 and 13 cross over, just north of Hines, making its way towards Iron City and Pruitt before too long. What we've seen with this system the entire time is that the debris that it's lofting is on the back edge. We're looking here for these lighter colors. What we're seeing is obviously rain falls down with gravity, but tornadoes spin up and loft debris up, and that's on the very back edge of this storm. So even if the wind somewhat calms down, even if the rain gets just a little bit lighter and calmer, we will continue to see some debris, and you need to continue to be in your safe space as a result. We've seen a pattern of this storm kind of weaken a little bit and then re-intensify. So that's why we're staying on air. That's why we're keeping our eyes on it, because even if for 1 or 2 radar scans it looks calmer, it has been re-intensifying. Again, this is continuing to track east. It's making its way into southern Tennessee. It does have a tornado warning on it, a little bit of a clearer picture now, currently still in Lauderdale County, only for the next few minutes. They have left this warning in effect through 1:15. It's going to kind of ride the Alabama-Tennessee state line for a little while, making its way over 17, just north of Hines, and this is what's going to be bringing us that continued tornado warning in Lauderdale County. At the same time, fairly large system, it will be crossing into southern Tennessee as well, and this is what's continuing to bring that warning there, now issued by the Tennessee office for Lawrence and for Wayne counties. This will cross just north of Iron City. It's bringing lightning, thunder, torrential rain, and small isolated hail with it. The wind component of this system is largely significant. I'm going to go ahead and put a track on this for you as we can continue to monitor it as it does track north and east. If you're in Iron City, you have just less than 10 minutes to get in your safe space. If you're in Mount Nebo, you have until 1:01. St. Joseph Elementary School, you have until 1:02. St. Joseph 1:03 to get in your safe space. Here we are in the middle of the day, a lot of folks at school, at work, out and about, running errands. We're expecting storms today, but we're also expecting rain. Call your family, call your friends, tell them this is not just an especially strong thunderstorm, that they need to be in their safe space immediately. This was a confirmed tornado on the ground. That has been taken away, but it is still a tornado warning. It is still something that we absolutely need you to take seriously. Making its way into Clack Branch at 1:08, Loretto High School at 1:09. At that point, well into Tennessee, but we're going to stay with you while this system is here. Now, if you haven't been with us in a minute and you are just tuning in, I am tracking a tornado warning. It is both in Lauderdale County in North Alabama, as well as in Lawrence and Wayne counties in southern Tennessee. We're continuing to see this in Lauderdale County through 1:15. It's 1:47, but where our tornado is it's crossing right on the Alabama-Tennessee state line, continuing to bring the wind, the thunder, the hail, the storms to both Alabama and to Tennessee. After that, we're going to pick up this warning in southern Tennessee up till 1:30 this afternoon. This in Lawrence and this in Wayne counties as well. It will continue to track north and east. Quickly, I want to pull up what's called the velocity couplet. This is our wind. When we see wind green, that's coming towards the radar. Red is going away. Where they spin, right here is where we're seeing that tornado threat and that tornado warning. I'm going to get you the street by street view. We are just north of Hines. If you're in Johnson Crossroads, if you're on the Natchez Trace Parkway, this is past you. You are in the clear. Who is not in the clear, where we are still monitoring this, is Iron City, making its way towards Wayland Springs, towards St. Joseph, towards Loretto, making its way towards Rascaltown, crossing over 43. All of you need to be in your safe space. At the moment, it is crossing over the state line, crossing over 13, crossing over the Wayne County border, making its way very, very close to Iron City, Wayland Springs, and just south of Geneva and Upper Holly Creek. I want to put another storm track on this so you can really see where this system is going. This is definitely something that you need to be in your safe space for and be monitoring for your family and friends. Make sure they are in their safe spaces as well. This will make its way into Iron City at 12:57. Let's see if we can bring that back up for you. That is just under 10 minutes from now. So this is why it's so important that you heed this warning quickly and make sure you get into that safe space right away so that we can get you in your safe space immediately. You only have just a few minutes to get there. This is a very, very fast moving storm. So making its way into Iron City at 1:57. This will be making its way into Mount Nebo at 1:03, pushing into St. Joseph at 1:04. It's 12:49. You still have time, but make sure you're getting into your safe space as quickly as you can. Making its way to St. Joseph Elementary School at 1:04, impacting Clack Branch at 1:10, Loretto 1:12, Busby and Liberty Grove School at 1:16. Just minutes away, this racing tornado, rain-wrapped, bringing lightning, bringing thunder, bringing pea-sized hail associated with it, crossing over the Alabama-Tennessee state line and tracking east of Wayne County, making its way towards Iron City, towards St. Joseph, towards Clack Branch and Loretto, just shy of Busby as well, crossing over 47 and crossing north and east. Let's pull up that debris signature again. It is still lofting debris on the back edge of the system, seeing a little cluster of it as well. In the center, it looks like we have some lighter portions there. What I'm looking at the most, though, is that velocity. This is where we really see the storm inside all of that rain, and that's the benefit of this system. Continuing to track right near Iron City. If you're in Johnson Crossroads, you're in the clear. If you're in Cypress Inn, you're in the clear. If you're in Iron City, Loretto, just north of Rascaltown, Geneva, west of Peppertown, you need to be in your safe space right away. This is continuing to move. I'm going to send it back over to Demetria here in just just a second. She's been monitoring power outages. She's been monitoring for any damage pictures. Are you seeing anything new, Demetria, as far as that goes?
You know something, I have been looking and looking and looking. I have not seen anything new. Right now, I am tracking the number of power outages in the Lauderdale County area. I'm trying to get a summary of that right now. There it is right now. So as of this point, we have about 683 entities that are affected right now. I have about 17 areas. I'm going to read off some of those for you. If you happen to be in the Bankhead Street, that's over near WAAY Church Street as well, that's affected, a power outage. Dogwood near Waterloo School, that is affected. Union Hollow over near Waterloo School as well. Townsend Lane, County Road 87. There's a bunch of these that are being affected right now. Now, I am going to check as well. I have not seen any other damage reports, but I am looking for that. I've been looking at the Emergency Management Agency's website as well, as they continue to update things and let us know what's happening. But it's so important, as Grace has been mentioning, that you do take proper precaution, because these storms can just pop up. We know that today is a 31 alert day. It's going to be active weather. So you need to make sure that you go to the innermost part of your home. If you can, go to a basement. As Grace has mentioned, do not go to your vehicle for any type of safe place, because we have noticed and we've seen lately that that is not the route that people should take. I'm going to continue to look here. I have not seen anything else pop up at the moment, but I am keeping my eyes open. I do have people who are asking, are they out of the clear yet? Grace is, when she comes back up, she is going to be tracking the area to see where the storm is going and which areas are cleared. Now, do keep in mind that you do need to be safe. We are streaming this. If you're not able to continue with the coverage on TV, you can go online to our website at waaytv.com. We also have our Facebook Live that's running, and we also have it streaming on Twitter and Instagram. We do have some updates on there too. Don't forget the weather app. We have that. It is really important, especially in times like this with our triple Doppler, because if you are in an area that is being affected, you are getting alerts right now. And these could be very life-saving tips too. I'm going to keep looking to see if I have any more information. Let's see. Thought something just popped up right here. Nothing did. I want to talk to the production area. Do we have any live cameras over in the area so we can see what's happening?
Is reporting that they have a view of what's happening in some of their cameras.
Okay. If you heard that right now, Grace said that UNA is reporting that they have a live view of what's happening. If we could go there. Okay, so in the meantime, they're going to go ahead and look for there. But I'm going to keep my eyes open, keep monitoring Facebook, keep monitoring other social media sites. And as soon as I see something, I'll let you know.
All right, thank you, Demetria. Let's go ahead and check back in with this tornado-warned storm. It is just south and west of Iron City. It is just north of the Alabama-Tennessee state line and Hines, making its way towards Wayland Springs, towards St. Joseph, towards Loretto. I'm going to put a storm track on this system. Reminder, we are seeing two types of tornado-warned system, tornado warnings with this. The difference is the Alabama office issuing it, or is the Tennessee? As far as Alabama goes, this Lauderdale County tornado warning is in effect until 1:15. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets expired early. It is tracking north and east. However, it's likely that we hang on to this Tennessee warning for Lawrence and Wayne counties all the way through 1:30 this afternoon. We do have hail associated with this system. It's crossing over 13, making its way into Wayland Springs, Iron City, even St. Joseph before long. I'm going to put a storm track on this system because we are continuing to track it move rapidly north and east, crossing over I-43 before too long. It'll make its way into Iron City at 12:58. It is 12:54 right now, so you need to be in your safe space. You have just a few minutes. You have 4 minutes until it gets into your neck of the woods, Iron City. Use that time, grab what you need, run to your safe space, and stay there until I give you the all clear. Making its way into Mount Nebo at 1:03, less than 10 minutes for you. If you have friends friends in these areas, call them in the middle of the day, tell them right now that they need to be in their safe space. St. Joseph until 1:05, Clack Branch until 1:11. That's when this will make its way to you. South Lawrence Elementary School, this is going to be in your back door at 1:11 p.m. Loretto by 1:13, Busby by 1:15, the same for Liberty Grove School. Continuing to monitor this as it is tracking north and east. We know it's bringing hail. We know it's bringing a whole lot of gusty wind. Now, previously, when it was further into Lauderdale County, we had this as a confirmed tornado on the ground. It's very, very rain wrapped. There is hail, lightning, and thunder associated with it. It's difficult to have it truly confirmed on the ground as we speak. However, it is still showing on radar that is what we are seeing. That's why it's a red warning rather than a pink. It does not mean it is any less serious. It is still an active tornado warning. It's just difficult to truly see if we are looking at this from a confirmed standpoint versus from a radar standpoint. We're getting to just near Iron City, crossing over Wayland Springs, stretching in the eastern portion of Wayne County at this point. This tornado will make its way towards St. Joseph and Loretto before too long. It's where this green and this red are meeting. That is where we are seeing this tornado. That is called a velocity couplet. Green is air coming towards the radar. Red is air going away from it. Where they meet up and kind of make that yin and yang is where we're seeing the strongest of that wind. This storm is moving very quickly. When we first came on air quite some time ago, about 45 minutes ago, it was just north of Wayne. It has since crossed over almost all of Lauderdale County and now into southern Tennessee. It does maintain that it is still tornado warned until 1:30, bringing hail with it and lofting debris. Speaking of, there's that debris, not seeing as much of a signature as we were seeing a few minutes ago. However, we are still continuing to monitor this. It is likely still lofting trees, things of that nature into the air. This is why I tell you, even if the winds have slightly calmed, if the rain has slightly calmed, give it a few minutes. Stay in your safe space until you get out of there. Just make sure that everything has calmed down around you after the brunt of this storm moves through. Now, if you're in Hines, if you're in Sharps Mill, if you are on 17 or even 13 in southern Tennessee, this is out of your neck of the woods. This is not a problem for you. You can go back about your day. If you are in Iron City, Loretto, even making your way just north of Peppertown, 5 points, this is heading to you and you need to be getting into your safe space right away. I'm going to put one more storm track on this for you, let you continue to track it. It's going to be crossing over 43 very, very soon. This is not a time to be on the road. If you have family and friends in this area, of course, it's the middle of the day. We're all busy. We're doing other things. You need to be calling them. You need to be making sure that they are aware of this system and that they are getting to their safe space immediately. This storm, it's 12:58 right now, making its way to Mount Nebo at 1:03. 5 minutes to get into your safe space. Grab what you need, grab the kids, get into an interior room away from windows, away from doors. If that's not possible for you, throw mattresses up against the windows, put a helmet on, things of that nature, and make sure you are getting into as safe a place as you can very quickly, immediately. This is making its way into St. Joseph Elementary at 1:05, crossing into St. Joseph at 1:05 as well. Loretto High School at 1:11, the town of Loretto at 1:12, making its way into Busby at 1:16, and Liberty Grove School at 1:17. So continuing to move very, very quickly. At this point now, the entire tornado is within the Tennessee state line, crossing just over Iron City. Really, Iron City is getting the brunt of it right between the two, making its way very quickly towards St. Joseph, towards 53. Upper Green Hill, you are not going to see the worst of this tornado, but you will see the wind. You could see some hail, and you will definitely see a lot of the rain associated with this. Is going to continue to track towards Loretto, eventually towards Brown Crossroads. We do currently have this warning in effect through 1:30. The thing is that this has it slowing down on that track. At first, we were looking at very rapid timing. The fact that we are keeping this until 1:30, crossing over 43 and into Liberty Grove, means we're seeing this storm slow down. That doesn't mean it's weakening. That means it's slowing down, and you're going to have to stay in your safe space for a great deal longer. That also means if you're on the eastern edge of this, in Rascaltown, in Loretto, crossing over 43, use this time right now to get into your safe space while it's still not in your neck of the woods. I'm going to put another storm track on this for us, crossing east as we head towards 5 points. 1:04 p.m. It's currently 1 o'clock on your Tuesday. This will make it into St. Joseph Elementary School at 1:04, St. Joseph also at 1:04, Loretto High School at 1:11, Town of Loretto at 1:12, into Brown Crossroads at 1:16. At that point, the warning will be expired. We'll have to see if it still has enough strength to be continued yet again. Here's where we're seeing that velocity couplet, that green and that red mixed together. Right here is where we're looking at the strongest portion of that, just south of Wayland Springs, crossing over Iron City, making its way into St. Joseph, and continuing to track east. We've seen a debris signature with this. We have seen gusty wind, and we are seeing hail. If you're just tuning in with us for the first time, I'm WAAY 31 meteorologist Grace Anello, and we have an active tornado warning in southern Tennessee in Lawrence and Wayne counties until 1:30 this afternoon. Previously, this was covering much of Lauderdale County. It was a confirmed tornado warning on the ground. Right now, it's difficult to tell if this is on the ground, but it is radar showing that we are seeing what is likely a tornado. We're seeing the spin. We're seeing a lot of that atmospheric energy, and we're continuing to track this as it moves east. This is in effect with some isolated hail along with it, a lot of wind, a lot of rain, a lot of weather noise with this system. If you have family and friends in Wayland Springs, Iron City, St. Joseph, Loretto, Peppertown, even into Center Point, call them. Tell them to be weather aware. Tell them to get into their safe space right now as they can continue to do that. It's the middle of the day. We all have things on our mind. They need to be in their safe space right away. I'm going to walk you through the storm track for this. If you're in Hines, if you're in Bailey Springs, if you're in Johnson Crossroads, if you're on 17 or where it turns to 13, if you're in Cypress Inn, you are in the clear. Everyone in Lauderdale County is in the clear. This is now making its way essentially into Lawrence County. We have dropped the Wayne County portion of this. If you're in Iron City, Loretto, making your way just north of Lexington towards 5 points, then you are the ones that still need to be mindful of this. Crossing over I-43 as well, this system is quickly making its way into that area, making it towards St. Joseph in just 2 minutes. 1:02 on your Tuesday, 1:04. That's when this is getting into St. Joseph. So you need to be and stay in your safe space. Making its way into Loretto at 1:12, Brown Crossroads at 1:15. What we've seen with the debris signature of this storm is it's lofting this debris behind the storm. That means even after the wind is died down, even after the rain has calmed, you need to still be in your safe space. It is approaching I-43 just south of Mount Nebo. It is making its way right where Shelton Drive impacts 43, heading towards just south of Clack Branch and continuing to stay in our area. I'm going to continue to monitor this as it tracks east, making its way towards St. Mary's, just north of Rascaltown, Liberty Grove, Peppertown. All of you need to be in your safe space immediately. Again, this tornado warning is in effect until 1:30, continuing to monitor this with some small hail as well, a lot of wind, a lot of rain sticking around. We're continuing to watch this as it tracks east. If you are in Wayland Springs, if you're in Iron City, you are close to the back of this warning. You cannot come out of your safe space yet. Soon you can, but stay in there just a little bit longer. St. Joseph, Upper Green Hill even though you're not in the warning, you're going to see a lot of wind and rain. It wouldn't be a bad thing to take precautions. Loretto, Peppertown as well, definitely need to be in your safe space. When this first started for us, it was in Lauderdale County. It was a confirmed tornado on the ground. Now we are just seeing this be radar indicated. Doesn't mean that storm is any less powerful. What it means is that it's very rain wrapped, that conditions there are in the weather world very noisy, and that we're seeing it more radar indicated than we are in person. However, it is still a tornado warning. It is still active, and you still absolutely need to be in your safe space. I'm going to put another track on this for us. If you are just joining us, this tornado warning is tracking east. It is active. It is in effect until 1:30 in Lawrence County, crossing just east of Iron City, making its way towards St. Joseph, towards Loretto, towards Peppertown, in Lawrence County in Tennessee. I'm going to put a storm track on this for you. It's been moving very, very quickly, and it's about to cross over the highway. That's not exactly a combination that we like to see. It is 1:05. By the time it gets to 1:11, Loretto High School, you're going to be feeling the impacts of this tornado warned storm. 1:13, town of Loretto, same time for Loretto Elementary School. St. Mary's, this will be into your neck of the woods at 1:14. 1:17, Brown Crossroads, Liberty Grove School also at 1:17. It is currently what time? 1:05. So you have a few minutes. Gather what you need. Get to that safe interior room away from windows and doors. If you don't have one of those, do the best you can. Put mattresses up against the windows. Grab a helmet, things of that nature. Make sure you're taking as many precautions as possible as this tornado warned storm continues to track east. It is crossing right north of St. Joseph, just south of Mount Nebo. Part of the benefit of 31 triple Doppler is we can see every area, and that's why we're able to give you that street-by-street view. Crossing over 43, over Shelton Drive, making its way towards St. Mary's, Brown Crossroads, and even towards Loretto. Now, Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle is here with me. I'm going to send it over to him. We've been analyzing the debris, the velocity, a whole lot of this rain that we've been seeing, and of course, this actively tornado-warned storm. Jeff, what are some context, some other things that you're seeing with this?
Well, Grace, I want to point out for those of you concerned that this is the beginning and we're going to have more tornado warnings coming up here very, very soon. At least for now, this is it. We've got one storm. That's it. You see it here, southern parts of Lawrence County. There are some other showers that are starting to bubble up just a little bit back here in the northwest corner of the state, but there is nothing else that is imminent. So it is simply this one storm that has popped up and is causing the issues here across southern Middle Tennessee. Now, this is just outside of our coverage area, but very close to the state line. And the reason why we're staying on with coverage is because the track of this storm mostly to the east, and that means with time, it may find itself into Lincoln County, perhaps around the Ardmore area, maybe eventually towards Fayetteville. That is what we are going to be looking at and seeing if this storm continues to hold together and we continue with a tornado warning on it. Again, the storm, we did have some reports of some funnels. That was one of the reasons for the warning being issued. That, of course, the storm is rotating. That is pretty much a given with just about any storm that we're going to see popping up through this afternoon, is that a lot of them are going to rotate, and some of them are going to have the possibility of producing, again, perhaps some severe weather. Only one report here that I am seeing that has come on in from the National Weather Service, a report of a tree down near County Road 10400 near Waterloo. So that is in the western part of Lauderdale County. So a report there of a tree down. That is all we have seen thus far. And keep in mind, because the storm is isolated and it's the only thing out there right now, we're not immediately being considered for a tornado watch. I do expect that that will come out at some point this afternoon as we see more activity develop to our west, moving towards our direction, and perhaps more of this isolated storm activity as well. But let me take a closer look here at our thunderstorm that we do have moving here across southern Middle Tennessee. Again, the reason for the tornado warning is there is rotation showing up with this storm. We're looking at the wind velocity. The radar can easily measure that, determining which direction that the raindrops are moving within the thunderstorm. And we still have an area of rotation showing up here, again, very close to St. Joseph. The green colors are blowing towards the radar. I'm looking at the radar right now out of Jackson County, Alabama at High Top. So we do have counterclockwise rotation showing up here very close to St. Joseph. So that is why the tornado warning does continue with this storm. Again, it is working its way off to the east. Grace, what's the motion on this? What's the speed?
I was just pulling it up for you. Give me 1 second. Looks like tracking east at 25.
At 25. So this is moving pretty slow. So it's going to be a little while before it makes its way there into the Lincoln County area. But let's just kind of show you. Traveling on this same direction, we'll track the general area of rotation. I will say this is not a tight circulation in terms of its well-defined, concentrated in a small area. We're also looking at the storm a little bit higher up into the atmosphere from that current radar. But this is kind of a longer range track here that'll take us through about the next hour. Moving basically across southern Lawrence County, it'll be heading into southern Giles County. There's a reasonably good chance this may stay a little south of Pulaski there in Giles County. Minor Hill area, though, coming up a little bit more than 45 minutes from now, around 1:56, and into Stella around 2:06. So this is going to continue to basically hug the state line just a little bit north of the Alabama border there on into southern Middle Tennessee. But again, tornado warning does continue on this particular thunderstorm. Going to look at a few more pieces of data. This is using our live radar out of Decatur. Again, picking up on the storm as well. Heavy rain there around Loretto, and again on the southwestern flank of the storm, east of Iron City, is where we have the circulation showing up, and we can take a look at the wind velocity here using our radar as well out of Decatur. Not really seeing a strong signature, again, of lower level rotation. Our Decatur radar is the closest one to where this storm is right now. Taking a look as well at our radar out of Muscle Shoals. Again, the picture pretty much the same. Strong thunderstorm, again, approaching Loretto, tracking east towards 5 points there in southern Middle Tennessee. As we take a look as well here at the wind velocity with that particular radar, again, this is fairly close. Nothing that really jumps out at me as being a big concern in terms of a tornado threat at this point in time. So hopefully that's a good sign, and that is something that is going to continue. Again, want to show you the wider view, and I just want to reassure everyone this is not the first storm, and we've got multiple ones that we're tracking. It's the only one. So it is a very isolated storm, small storm. Basically will be hugging the state line. There is nothing else for you folks in the shoals that is currently developing, and that is currently an issue. Let me pull up our camera as well out of the Muscle Shoals area and kind of show you that we're just not seeing anything else really developing at this point in time.
So Jeff, just to give you a little context while you pull that up, we have been seeing some stronger storms develop. We had a tornado warning in Boulevard, Tennessee. It was weakened by the time it came to us, but similar to story to this, popped up fairly quickly and then got out of the way. Now, of course, that means that the atmosphere is primed for these types of storms. When we first started watching this, it was just a small rain cell in Waterloo, very quickly turned into a tornado warning. As Jeff mentioned, it's the very isolated part of it. This is not a bigger start of the event we're tracking this evening. That remains, but this is on its own. What this is proving to me is that we have more than enough energy, we have more than enough spin for strong storms. Now, of course, none of that to scare you, never the intention, but to tell you, make sure you're staying weather aware today. We're going to see an active afternoon and evening, and reasons just like this cell that started as just a pocket of rain are why you absolutely have to stay connected with us throughout the day as well.
All right, thank you, Grace. Yeah, let's go ahead and we've got our camera pulled up here. So this is our camera, our sky cam out in Muscle Shoals. Puffy cumulus clouds, quite a few of those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of spin the camera around here and just kind of show you the overall view. And one of the things we're concerned about as we talk about this, and again, there are no big cloud buildups out here in Muscle Shoals. That's our live radar there in the Muscle Shoals, Tuscumbia area. Again, just a lot of little cumulus clouds, nothing that is really growing at this point in time. But what you do see out here, sunshine. And that means the atmosphere is continuing to destabilize, and as we head through the middle to latter part of the afternoon on into the evening hours, that's going to mean there's going to be lots of fuel for storms to kind of feed off of as they do start to get going a little bit more in earnest and a little bit more widespread in coverage. But again, as we look at the view here, as I continue to spin that camera, we're just not seeing any big cloud buildup. So there is no immediate threat that we are going to see more severe thunderstorm activity developing in this area. So I do think it is going to be a little bit later on into the afternoon hours before that is something that we're going to have to worry about. As we continue to, of course, monitor this storm in Lawrence County there in southern Middle Tennessee, I do want to take a look here at some of the latest information coming in terms of model data, and we'll just kind of show you this. And actually, this is picking up on it. A little bit off on the placement, but again, showing a heavier thunderstorm there. It has a little bit displaced east from where it currently is there in southern Lawrence County, but again, also indicating extremely isolated and nothing else in our immediate future, it appears. Now, I'm going to move this forward in time. I'm going to take you to around 3 o'clock this afternoon, starting to see a little bit more development out here in this corner of the area. We take you towards 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Things are starting to get a little bit busier, especially back into northeast Mississippi. And as we continue to pull this forward in time, you can see by late afternoon and into the evening hours, it does get much more active. So what we have out there right now is just really kind of a precursor of what we expect to be the situation a little bit later on today. And again, because we're going to have several hours of heating taking place here in the northwest corner of the state, that's really going to amp up the atmosphere with plenty of fuel for these storms to get going. So by 6 o'clock in the evening, most of the activity is probably still going to be a little west of I-65, but another round for you folks here in the shoals, and the next round is going to be a bit more substantial with more storms that we will be tracking, and we're going to have to keep a close watch on all of these as they come through. This is 7 o'clock in the evening. And this is kind of what we were talking about, and I know, Grace, you were talking about this on midday, is that we may have two distinct areas of storms. One would be forming out ahead of a main line, and it's the storms that are out ahead that we're going to have to watch closest for tornado potential. They're going to have basically all of this fuel in the atmosphere all to themselves to grow and feed off of and perhaps produce severe weather and a tornado threat. And then back behind, a little closer to a cold front that will eventually sweep through here overnight tonight, there's going to be more of a line of storms. It may not be a completely solid line that stretches for hundreds of miles. There may be some breaks in the line, and we will have to watch that as well, because in addition to a damaging wind threat, which would be the predominant severe weather threat out of a line of storms, there are going to be instances where we may have to be concerned about embedded circulations and embedded tornadoes along the line. So again, a couple things that we're going to have to keep an eye on. The main line, which comes through the evening hours, and any storms that develop ahead of that main line that are going to pose that higher threat for a tornado. We'll take you to 8 o'clock this evening. Again, the same thing. We got this line around I-65, maybe arcing back into the shoals, northwest Alabama, and those more isolated storms ahead of the main line moving across parts of Sand Mountain. The good news is this is not going to be something that's going to be with us all night long. Here's 10 o'clock in the evening, already seeing those more isolated storms moving into North Georgia. The line itself at that point is likely going to be found here across Sand Mountain, Huntsville to the west by 10 o'clock tonight. Likely it is going to be over and done with any potential for severe weather. And the storms that are continuing across Sand Mountain, likely by 11 o'clock this evening, it is going to be a done deal for us. So again, this is not something that's going to persist all night long. It is going to come and go. But the storms, as they come through, are going to be capable, again, of producing severe weather, and that is going to include a tornado risk. Again, I fully expect we will be under a tornado watch sooner rather than later, perhaps as early as mid-afternoon. Certainly by late afternoon, that watch will be in place here across the Tennessee Valley. All right, here's another look at WAAY 31 triple Doppler. Again, the one storm, that is it. Still a tornado warning on it, I think until 1:45 is when that warning goes. And here is actually, no, until 1:30. That warning goes until 1:30. It may be dropped. The storm is, not looking quite as well defined as it was when it moved through the shoals. It's also getting a little out of range of some of the radars, so we'll have to wait and see if this is continued past 1:30. But again, this is now beginning to approach Giles County, Tennessee. It's a slow mover. The storm between St. Joseph and 5 Points there in southern portions of Lawrence County, Tennessee. If you're here and you're watching from Lauderdale County, you're in the Lexington area, you're wondering, is this going to take a hard right turn into our area? The answer is no, it is not. It is going to continue on that track again across southern parts of Lawrence County as this continues to work its way there just north of the state line. In addition to tornado threat, let's take a look here, see if we're seeing any large hail out of this storm. Some of these isolated storms, that's something else that we are going to have to monitor. Might take a minute for this to update and pull up. Yeah.
While you're doing that, I have been looking at some of the outages in the area. I do have 3 out in the Lauderdale County area. So it's County Road 45, County Road 87, and County Road 8. So if you remember, about 20 minutes or so ago, we had about 18 of them that were out. But now the streets affected again, County Road 45, County Road 87, and County Road 8. So I'm going to send this back over to you, Jeff. As soon as I see something else, I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you very much, Demetria, for keeping us up to date on that. Another look here, we look at the wind velocity in the storms using the radar data. Another is a derived product, rotation or wind shear in the atmosphere. And we're still seeing that here south of Loretto, Tennessee, a little north of St. Mary's. So again, that is where the most dangerous part of this storm is. A little south of U.S. Highway 43 here in Lawrence County, Tennessee, and again tracking mostly east. So next up, Liberty Grove and over towards the 5 Points area. If you've not sought shelter, you've been watching this storm in those areas, go ahead and seek shelter again for the possibility that this storm may produce a tornado as it moves on through. Again, this is the latest here on the wind velocity, and I will say this is not a real strong signature. It's kind of a broad velocity signature, but obviously the storm is rotating. And given the fact that it appears we may have had a confirmed tornado earlier as this storm was back in Colbert moving into Lauderdale County, you have to assume that it at least has that potential to maybe produce another one. Reminder of what the colors are here. We're using the radar out of Jackson County, Alabama, which is all the way over here. The greens are blowing towards the radar, the reds are blowing away, so you get this sense, and I'll circle it, of counterclockwise rotation showing up here, again, close to St. Mary's, close to Liberty Grove, close to Brown's Crossroads. Again, there's your circulation showing up right here in this storm on basically the southwest flank of it. Very common, almost kind of textbook to see that in these sort of storms. And again, that tracking its way towards the 5 Points area. I've got meteorologist Amber Kulik in here with me now. She's getting all situated. So we've had the whole team in here so far today. And we are going to continue to keep a close watch again on everything that is popping up and developing across the area through the afternoon hours as we anticipate that there will be more storms like this that are going to be rotating, that are going to have that possibility of producing a tornado. Again, this is our live radar out of Muscle Shoals, probably the closest, although the Decatur radar also about within the same range here. Again, this is looking at the rainfall. You see the lightning strike, so it is an intense storm here. And as we take a look at the wind velocity in it, again, at least on our radar, not seeing a real strong rotation signature either. We're not seeing it on the Weather Service radar out of Jackson County. But again, the possibility that this could perhaps produce another tornado as it continues to move from Lawrence County towards Giles County there in southern Middle Tennessee. Just taking another look here, I want to reset the view for you. There are some other showers trying to develop, so we're going to have to keep an eye on these. We've got one over western Madison County. We'll see if that one continues to flare up a bit. We've got another one back here towards Smith Lake out there, southeastern corner of Winston County heading into southwest Coleman County. So another shower trying to develop there. Again, nothing that is imminent to being a severe weather threat, but this is something that we're going to have to watch as the atmosphere is going to be primed to produce rotating thunderstorms as all this comes together through this afternoon. I do want to show you a much wider view here. Let me get that pulled up. to show you the wider picture. And this is going to have a lot of data on it. It's got a lot of different radars all the way back out to eastern Arkansas. So this is what we are primarily watching for the main line to come from. You do see there's new development of storms east of Memphis. There's storm development taking place here eastern and back into central Arkansas towards Little Rock. Northwestern Mississippi, there's development. One of the things we're probably going to see is a lot of storms are going to go up. Eventually, there's going to be a somewhat solid line that's going to form. We're going to have these individual storms that will develop ahead of the line and maybe even some clusters of storms that will form ahead of the main line. So there's going to be a lot going on this afternoon. The atmosphere continues to heat up and destabilize across this entire area. And again, a weather watch is being considered here to our west due to the fact that these storms are continuing to flare up back in this direction. I don't believe, let me take a look here, see if we have a watch yet. We do, okay. So this is the first tornado watch of the day. It appears it does not include any of Alabama, but tornado watch is out now, eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, and much of northern and northwestern parts of Mississippi. So that is our first tornado watch that is going to be of concern to us. I'm not sure the particulars on it. Let me try to find those for you real quick. This tornado watch was issued about 15 minutes ago. It goes until 8 o'clock this evening. Now, I fully expect there's going to be another watch that's probably going to come out for our area well before then. But again, this is the first one immediately to the west, so that goes to show just what sort of atmospheric conditions we're going to be looking at with these storms as they continue to track in our direction and in general develop in our area. Again, pulling it back a little closer to home, we do see that storm over at Smith Lake getting a little bit stronger, little red starting to show up in it now. Let me take a look here in Madison County. Also seeing that one a little stronger. That one on the basically northwest Huntsville, northeast of Madison. This is Highway 72, the thick brownish yellow line that you see here. 255, that is Research Park Boulevard, and of course Highway 53 there. So it's in the general area where that all comes together on the northwest side of Huntsville, and that'll be continuing to track on off to the east. Again, not severe. We don't even have any lightning showing up out of this right now, but it is something that we're going to have to watch and see if it continues to flare up. Similar situation down here, Smith Lake, just southwest of Crane Hill, southeast of Double Springs. That's right over Smith Lake, and that's going to be tracking east, northeast into parts of Coleman County. Again, no lightning with it at the moment, but it is starting to get a little bit stronger. Again, our most significant storm is the one here in Lawrence County in southern Middle Tennessee. And you can see that storm is almost out of the tornado warning box. In fact, there with the latest scan update, it has moved out. So that leads me to believe, and Amber, if you're seeing something else, let me know, that maybe they're going to let this tornado warning expire at 1:30. And if that's the case, we will go back to regular programming. Again, we were staying with this in the event the storm persisted because it was continuing to track in Middle Tennessee. But if this warning is in Middle Tennessee, but if this warning is allowed to expire, we are going to go back to regular programming. So we're going to stay with this for just a couple more minutes just to see. Again, the storm itself is kind of out of the tornado warned area, so that leads me to believe that another tornado warning is not going to be issued downstream on this. Again, what we've been seeing here, the rotation there, not super well defined, not super strong, and so that may be the reason why this is going to be allowed to expire, but we're going to continue to watch these other areas of potential development. In fact, that storm there around Smith Lake continuing to flare up just a little bit more, getting a little bit heavier, doesn't have any lightning yet, but it is something that we are going to have to continue to keep an eye on. And again, elsewhere, nothing major that is happening. And really until we get the main line that's going to come in late afternoon through the evening hours, I think a lot of what we will see if we get development ahead of that main line, it's probably going to be fairly isolated. But because of that, there is going to be an increased risk for perhaps seeing some tornado activity out of it as a result, because these storms are going to be the first ones to come through. They're going to have all the heat that's been building up so far today and will continue to build up for the next few hours. All that energy in the atmosphere is going to be strictly available to those isolated storms. So that is why there is going to be an increased concern for, again, some tornado activity. Again, as it stands right now, there is the one tornado watch just to our west. It does not include any of northwest Alabama. It does pretty much come right up to the state line. And again, that watch goes until 8 o'clock this evening, but I fully expect additional watches will be coming. With that in mind, it looks like they are not going to reissue on the tornado warnings. So for you folks that have been monitoring this in Lincoln County for now, looks like the threat that this is going to produce any additional tornado activity has dropped. We are going to continue to monitor it for you. We're not going anywhere. Again, I'm here. Meteorologist Amber Kulik is here with me now. We will be providing, prior to any sort of tornado activity, tornado warnings that may come out, we will be doing some streaming updates as well on our website, WAAYTV.com. You can find that on the WAAY 31 YouTube channel, on our news and weather apps as well. So we will be providing updates as well as information for those of you that follow us on social media. So for now, we're going to send it back to regular programming, but we're going to continue to closely watch for more severe storm development and potential tornado activity through this afternoon. For meteorologist Amber Kulik and meteorologist Grace Anello, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle. Again, we will keep you updated through this afternoon.
This has been a 31 Alert Day weather update. We now return to your regular programming.